it was, yeah, so you know what it means.
Yes, I have. It's okay.
I wanted to welcome everyone. I'm Marcia Delorier, I'm the Executive Director at CHAC, and I am so pleased to have all of you join us and give us the opportunity to thank you as our donors for everything that you do for CHAC. So much of what happens here is because of the passion of people like yourselves, and I'm reminded of that phrase, you know, when good people come together, good things happen, and they bring it together, and I think that's what we're seeing here today. So just a couple of words about CHAC. I'd like to have a special, we're going to give you a little brief, 2 or 3 minutes on where CHAC is and where we're going, and then an opportunity for us to look back and to honor one of the co-founders of CHAC, Dodie Alexander. And I'd like to offer a very warm welcome to Dodie's family, to Carol and to Dave and to Rich. Pleased to hear so much about Dodie as we're standing here. So we'll have a few words from Rich and the family as we conclude. But I want to tell you just a couple of words about where CHAC is going. We are definitely on a trajectory to continue and to embellish what has been a big part of the community for 45 years. So I consider us a community-based mental health agency, as you know, but we are the emotional safety net of our community. And this is a place where everyone is welcome, regardless of their ability to pay, and we want to be able to continue that as well. You know, we operate for, as Dodie started, for the cities of Mountain View, Los Altos, and Los Altos Hills, and of course the schools in there as well. And we recently added, not too long ago, the schools of Sunnyvale as well. So what we're talking about is serving the population of 20,000 kids that have an opportunity to be part of the mental health services that CHAC can offer. And a few years ago, not many more than 3 or 4 years ago, we were seeing about 5% of the kids in these school districts. And today, CHAC is serving 16% of the kids in the school district. And I think there's good and not so good news about that, if you will. We have definitely lowered the stigma for mental health services, and that's a good thing. And I love it when the kids, when I hear them say, oh, I did CHAC years ago. I did CHAC, right? And what they're really referring to briefly is our prevention programs. We have 2 major prevention programs. Our Family Resource Center serves families 0 to 5 or 6 or 7-year-olds. And then our prevention program services the kids in the 3rd grade, 5th grade, and 8th grade. And that's where they learn about their emotions and how to deal and how to coping strategies. But what it really does is it opens up for them the services of mental health services and what is available for them or for their friends as they get into the more difficult middle school and high school years. And very gratifying to see that. On the other side of that coin is that we're seeing much more in the area of anxiety and depression for our kids. And those are the areas that we work very hard towards. I think, can attribute some of that to the social media and the advances of social media and the bullying that we're seeing coming from that. A little bit of the sort of the tenor of our national environment and how much anxiety that is causing to many families, not just our immigrant communities, but to all families. I think the stressors tend to be up, and we see the filtering of that through the work that we're doing. What is really, I think, powerful is the clinic itself. So not only are we doing these services in the schools, but we have this clinic right here. And that's really important because we know that when you're trying to care for kids, let's talk to the parents and let's get the family involved. And we operate on a family systems model so that we can see the folks right here in the clinic. I am very excited to tell you that in a few minutes, where you're going to be offered a tour of our new facility. And the remodel of this facility, for those of you who may not have seen it before, is quite transformational. And it started about 2 years ago with the vision for creating a clinician wellness space, because it is well documented that when you care for healthcare professionals, it translates to the clients, and we are all about serving the best for our clients. I would be absolutely remiss in not telling you that this entire remodel was fully donated.
Wow.
Not a dime of CHAC's money has gone to this remodel, and that is through the efforts of an organization called Design for a Difference. And Design for a Difference is a national community-based, let me get this right here, community-driven movement. And what it does is it pairs together interior designers and socially conscious businesses that in the community. And they have come together. And we are very happy today to have the driving force behind the Design for a Difference movement for CHAC is with us. And that is the owner of Interiors and Textiles, Fred Wee. And with Fred is part of the design team as well, Lisa and Diane, who were instrumental in the vision. And inside your program, you will see all of the other vendors that supported this effort, and I certainly hope that when you are in need of services, you'll reach out and support those vendors as well. The tour itself will just show you a little bit about the before and after, and there'll be a video in the other room, and we have our wonderful staff here that's going to take you around. So I think I would leave you with this, that the entire work that we have before us in mental health is all about access. We want to make sure that everyone that needs services is available to partake and has them available to them whenever they need it. In all of healthcare, it's access, access, access. And we are doing a number of things here to make sure that we are prepared for that. One, of course, is to create an environment that continues to attract the talent and the resources in clinicians that we need to have here, and that you'll see in a moment. But that's the visual. And so the behind the scenes is other things. One major one is we are just implementing an electronic health record system. So you might remember that if you don't have, ages ago when you went to the doctor, you had your paper files, and right now, prior to this year, our clinicians would have to drive from wherever they were to CHAC if they were having a situation with a client to pull a file, which was time-consuming, very ineffective, and sometimes even risky. So now we have electronic records, and our clinicians can access them from anywhere, and a real valuable resources for our 100 clinicians, by the way, today, that we have servicing our communities as well. So we're going to continue to improve access. We're going to build the infrastructure. We are going to develop the partnerships because we cannot do this alone. The challenge for mental health right now is so significant that we need the partnerships. We're going to be 21st century thought leaders for culturally sensitive mental health services. Very important in our diverse community. And lastly, we're going to have fiscal sustainability. And that's where I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you have done. I know you have many places where you can place your money and your donations, and I speak for the board and for the staff and myself, we are so grateful for your contributions to CHAC so we can continue this work. So together, we're all changing lives together and improving them, and I thank you. So thanks for being here. To turn over to Rich Alexander, Dodie's son. I am so pleased that you could be here, and we welcome you.
I don't think I'll need the ladder.
No,
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. On behalf of my family and myself, we really appreciate very much this honor to my mother. She's very sad she could not make it. She is, unfortunately, we had to have her in the hospital right now, being monitored for her heart. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed. I think she's going to stay strong, as always. In fact, I've already promised to bring her, sneak in some scotch for her. A special shout out to Hank, who arranged for, he worked so hard on this up here and made it happen. Thank you, Hank. And some wonderful friends. I think Joan is here, Nancy's here, just wonderful friends of my mom's, and appreciate them having them here. I come from a small town in Nevada, more cows than people. And it was an interesting drive-in. I haven't been here in a while. And, it was interesting. First of all, I'm glad I didn't bring my truck. There's not a single parking place in this entire area that fits a truck. And so I noticed that. So I brought my little commuter, but I have to admit, you guys, I've never seen so many cars in my entire life. And they all go 80 miles an hour and then come to a complete stop. And then they go 80 miles an hour and we're staying down here at the Hampton Inn Suites, very nice place. But very nice people working there, and I asked them, where can I get some food? I got in around 1 o'clock and a little hungry. It's about a 6-hour drive for me. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get some food. And they said, oh, go walk down to Castro Street. Well, I remember Castro Street. And I'll walk, it'd be kind of fun to go see the old places. Ha ha. You know, you realize there's not a single Kentucky Fried Chicken. I couldn't find a Subway. Oh, maybe it's over there. I couldn't find a Subway. I couldn't find a McDonald's. All I wanted was some fast food. And so I'm looking, and they got all these signs up in the restaurant windows, and I'm looking at the signs, and then the stoplights, you have stoplights that make noises here. In Nevada, we've got 3 stoplights in our town, one of which we're kind of upset about, but the other 2 we understand. But they don't make noises. So this is interesting to hear the noises. And I kept looking up around me, people thought I was crazy. So I find this restaurant that had a picture in the window of these chicken wings. And I thought, oh, good, this must be their version of Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know, Bay Area Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, no, it wasn't. It was called Bon John. Oh, yeah. Bon John's haven't been there? Interesting. Actually, it was very good. It was very good. You know, a little more than I usually pay for chicken wings, but it was very good. Hey, I got a chance to, past few days now, to look over your mission statement and to look over all your goals and all the things going on. And I'm so pleased to see what's happening. My mom is very pleased and very excited to see the direction this is going in. You know, a lot of things may have changed here, but the need for this organization has not. In fact, it's grown. So I think it's very important to remember that with change comes a certainty, which is the certainty that this community needs CHAC. And that's what Mom was dedicated to. Back in 1973, she finished up a career as probably the best mom in the world and turned to a new career after getting rid of all of us, you know. During that period of time, I was overseas a lot, and so I was able to hear some things, then come back into town and get some things, and had to leave again. But during that time, it was her life. It was her mission. It was her absolute dedication to the children and families in this community that drove her forward. and made her think about this every single minute she was awake. And she was awake a lot. She even got my dad roped in. Some of you know my dad. And he got roped in too. And he was very dedicated. She built it with the help of a partnership and a collaboration. And she was a firm believer in collaboration. She was a firm believer that together we can make a difference. And that's what she did. She didn't try to do it. She did it with a team of great people. Some of them are in here right now. That they worked together as a team. They brought the agency together as a team. And they devoted themselves to kids and their families. And I think that family part is so important too, because trying to make sure we help families and have families work together to stay strong is going to make a difference here. So I too want to thank you on behalf of my family for your donations and your support of this organization. I'm sure Marcia is willing to take money right now. But please, please, support the kids, support the families. And remember, it's CHAC that's making the difference. And we're going to do it together. Thank you so much for inviting us.
It's really what moves all of us every day. It's about the kids and it's about the families, and we are honored to be able to carry on her mission and that she started. And not only carry on her mission, but also carry on in the leadership that she demonstrated over and over again. So thank you. Thank you again.